Believe it or not, there are some cases where the victims get blamed for their own kidnapping. Elizabeth Thomas is a most recent example of this case. However, I am going to be covering her in a later episode. But the case I'm covering today is the Hannah Anderson case. And it takes a sick person to really blame the victim for the crime committed. Welcome back to the TCL podcast, where we talk murder and other forms of true crime. I do have a Patreon that you can join, and by joining you will receive early access to episodes that are scheduled to come out. I also have a merch shop that you can go buy something from. Anything with Pacific Color will go to that direct cause. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for any updates. Now that I have all that out of the way, let's dive into the reason why you're here today. I do have several episodes that are scheduled to come out. I am starting my second semester as a transfer at MTSU, so my schedules may slow down for a minute. My episodes might, so bear with me and be patient. Getting this degree is super important to me. I am a first generation college student, so this is super important for me. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about a case that confuses me, how people blame the victim when she had no control over her abductor who killed her brother and her mother. She was not a willing participant at all. Excuse me. Sorry about that. James DiMaggio, aka Uncle Jim, was a family friend to the Anderson family. He tortured and killed his best friend's wife and 8-year-old son before kidnapping their daughter. I personally believe that he did have a crush on Hannah. The way he got upset with her in LA and the way he manipulated her. Not only did he commit these crimes, but he did the unthinkable. Shot the family dog. Who shoots the family dog? Cases with the children and animals get to me more. I can't help it. I'm an animal lover. I like animals more than I do people, but still. DiMaggio kidnapped Hannah, murdered Ethan and Christina on August 4, 2013, then burned his Boulevard, California home down. According to Hannah, he had told him he was losing his home because of money issues. Yeah. That they were going in one last time to support him before he moved, and they were going to go have fun riding go-karts. That did not happen, and there was a trick. DiMaggio then tied up the mom and brother in the garage with the bodies, and the bodies were found after the fire. The authorities said that Hannah did not learn of this until after she had been rescued, when an FBI forensics interviewer told her the news. If she would go on to write that, I wish I could go back in time and risk my life to save theirs. I would never forgive myself for trying harder to save them. Excuse me. The funeral for Christina and Ethan were held August 24, 2013 in Santee, California. Anderson was rescued in Idaho after FBI shot and killed DiMaggio. Search warrants also revealed that both Anderson and DiMaggio's phones were shut off about 4 p.m. on August 4th, the day of the kidnapping. So, at 4 p.m., Anderson was picked up from cheerleading practice at Sweetwater High School, but it is unknown who picked her up. According to the warrants, phone records show that there were 13 phone calls that were exchanged between DiMaggio and Hannah before the phones were turned off. Authorities have said that DiMaggio have had an infatuation with her and wrote that she had been uncomfortable around him in the past, but did not say anything because he was a family friend. If a child says, okay, look, I'm just going to go off topic here and say one thing. If my future child comes up to me and says, this person makes me uncomfortable, I want you to know, I believe you, and I'm going to be there for you. And I will handle it. And I have your back. Anyway, she would also go on to write that he said it was more of a family crush, like he had feelings, as if he wanted nothing bad to happen to me. Gross, I know. A friend told investigators during an interview that the two had taken multiple day trips together, including a recent trip to Malibu and Hollywood. DiMaggio's sister, Laura Robinson, made multiple calls to DiMaggio's phone on the day of the crime, according to the warrants. So Hannah speaks out on social media. Her kidnapping set off a 6-day manhunt and spanned over several states until she was rescued in Idaho. 2 days later, her father made a public appeal for privacy, and the team began to answer questions on media site Ask.fm about how she couldn't escape and how she was denied food and basically stayed awake the entire time. Anderson then suspended her account, which had the username HannahBanana722. A source briefed Anderson confirmed that ABC News that the posts on the site were from the teen, but unable to confirm any other information that the teen shared. The California teenager who was abducted by a family friend and who was suspected of killing her mother and brother tried to explain why she once exchanged letters with him and even sent text messages just before she was kidnapped. She was 16 and she discussed her relationship with 40-year-old James DiMaggio. DiMaggio was killed by FBI agents on August 10th in the remote wilderness campsite in Idaho, where he had taken a 16-year-old Hannah during a 6-day manhunt, multi-state ordeal. Investigators said that DiMaggio was known to the family as Uncle Jim. And he killed 44, and Christina was 44 and Ethan was 8. And whose bodies were discovered after he set fire to his home, 65 miles east of San Diego. Hannah, whose only public comments on the kidnapping until now had come from a series of online postings, and she told Today that she exchanged text messages with DiMaggio prior to abduction and to arrange him to pick her up from cheerleading camp. And he didn't know the address, or what, where I was. So I told him that I sent him, told him the address, and tell him that I was going to be in the gym, not in front of the school, just so he knew where to come get me. Although, she says sometimes the exchange were text messages. According to the search warrants, she exchanged about 13 phone calls with him, and the San Diego County Sheriff's Department said it could not immediately explain the discrepancy. Hannah was also said that she had exchanged letters a year ago with DiMaggio because she and her mother weren't getting along, and DiMaggio helped her through the difficult times. She was a teenager, so we kind of get that. So, and she was also going to say that me and him would talk about how to deal with it, and I tell him how I felt about it, and he helped me through it. They weren't anything bad, they were just helping me through the times. Hannah did not go into the details in the interview about the abduction itself, which ended after 4 campers on horseback spotted the pair in Idaho backcountry and alerted police. She was not aware that there was a nationwide search, and nor has she heard of an Amber Alert being issued. She will also go on to say, I know it helped people find me, and I know it made them realize, and it's hard to find people out there, but with everyone's support, it came. She also goes that her mom raised her to be strong. And I've got nails done to support my mom and brother. The blue is for Ethan and the pink is for my mom. And my toes, they said that Ethan and Tina had Tina on them. Her father, who lived in Tennessee, had been by her side since the rescue. He flew to Idaho Hospital to come and visit me, and it was helpful. It got us closer. Using social media to communicate with her friends helped her during the difficult period. I connected with them through Facebook and Instagram, and it helped relieve pictures and how I was feeling. And I'm a teenager. I'm gonna go through it. In a bizarre twist, DiMaggio has switched his beneficiary to $100,012 in life insurance from his sister to Hannah's grandma, Bernice Anderson, in order to provide for Hannah and Ethan. A spokesperson for the DiMaggio family said this week that the family wanted DNA test conducted to find out if DiMaggio was the biological father of Hannah and Ethan. A spokesperson for Hannah's family, Brett Anderson, who lives in Tennessee, issued a statement on Wednesday denying suggestions that DiMaggio could have been the father, noting that Brett Anderson provided DNA and helped identify Ethan's body and that was born. San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore has called Hannah a victim in every sense of the word. He has declined to discuss a possible motive for investigators. Okay, here's my thoughts on the case. One, I want to say, don't quit the victim blaming. That is ridiculous on that part of my end. So, this guy was obsessed with Hannah. She was 16, he was 40. She was uncomfortable with him, and she had known him her whole life, and he would have raped her if he had the chance. I just know it. And the guy was messed up. A family crush, really? Her dad was in Tennessee. He trusted him. He literally had him look over the family while he was there. So where is Hannah today? Well, Hannah is in her 20s, and she has a child of her own. She is striving and doing her best to move on. That is it for today's episode. I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a great day, and a happy New Year. Alright, I'll see y'all next time.